Have you ever heard your child say something that made your heart pause, just for a second, but in a way that left a lasting ache? If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, you've likely had moments where your child's words struck you deeper than expected. Some words come from love. Others? They carry a chill, spoken with distance, buried resentment, or unspoken judgment. And those are the words we must not ignore. This video is for you, especially if you've ever walked away from a conversation with your son or daughter feeling off, confused, hurt, or maybe just a little smaller than you were before it began. Today we're going to walk through 5 phrases that, if they ever come out of your child's mouth, should stop you in your tracks. These aren't just throwaway lines. These are red flags, signals that boundaries have been crossed, that the parent-child roles you once knew have shifted into something unhealthy. You've spent a lifetime giving, your time, your love, your energy. It's not asking too much to be treated with basic human decency in return. And once you learn to spot these phrases for what they really are, you'll be better prepared to stand tall, respond with quiet strength, and, when needed, walk away with grace. Because your peace matters, your dignity matters. So stay with me, especially for the final phrase. It's not what you might expect, and it could be the most dangerous of them all. 1. You owe me. There's something chilling about hearing those 3 words, especially when they come from your own child. You owe me. Maybe it's said with a smirk, maybe in frustration, maybe it's passed off as a joke. But when you've spent decades loving and raising someone, those words cut deep, because they rewrite your story. Suddenly, all the diapers changed, meals cooked, nights you stayed up worrying. They're erased. Suddenly, you're not a parent anymore, you're a debtor. And that's not love, that's manipulation. Yes, sometimes kids say it when they're stressed or scared. Maybe they're struggling with bills, or life just isn't going how they hoped. But when that phrase becomes a pattern, when guilt begins to replace gratitude, that's when something's wrong. I spoke with George, 78, who downsized his home after his wife passed. He wanted a simpler life, but when he told his son, the response stunned him. You owe me, his son said. You wouldn't have had that house if it weren't for me. This after George had paid for college, covered rent, watched grandkids every weekend, all of that forgotten. See, a mindset like that doesn't come out of nowhere. It builds slowly, when children grow up thinking their parents are endless providers. But once you reach your later years, it's time for that dynamic to evolve. You are not a blank check. You are not a resource to be drained. You're a human being, with your own needs, dreams, and limits. So if you hear, you owe me, stop. Ask yourself, do I owe them, or do I owe myself the right to be treated with respect? Because love doesn't come with receipts, and parenting isn't a ledger. 2. You wouldn't survive without me. This one doesn't always come in anger. Sometimes it slips out with a laugh, or as a quiet jab during a disagreement. But no matter the tone, it sends the same message: you are weak. I hold the power now. That can shake you, especially when it comes from someone you once held as a baby in your arms. You see, for most of your life, you were the strong one. You kept the lights on, the meals warm, the family steady. So when your child says, or even implies, that you're helpless without them, it can feel like a slap in the face. Yes, aging changes things. We all need support from time to time. But needing help is not the same as being powerless. And no one, especially your child, has the right to use your vulnerability as leverage. Linda, 74, knows this pain well. After moving in with her daughter, things started off fine. She helped with the grandkids. Her daughter handled appointments, but over time, the dynamic shifted. Her daughter began opening Linda's mail, speaking for her at doctor's visits, and eventually, during an argument, snapped, "You wouldn't last a month on your own?" Linda stood there, stunned. She didn't even respond. Because how do you respond when your child rewrites you as a burden? This kind of control creeps in slowly, a little at a time, but it chips away at your dignity. And when the message becomes, "You're nothing without me," that's not care, it's control. You deserve more than that. You deserve respect, because surviving is one thing, but living with dignity, that's non-negotiable. 3. You're being dramatic. Have you ever shared something close to your heart, only to be brushed off with this? You're being dramatic. It might seem harmless, maybe even meant to lighten the mood, but it carries a heavy weight. It tells you your feelings don't matter. Your voice isn't valid. It's emotional invalidation, and it hurts. Whether you're expressing worry about your health, sadness about feeling left out, or a disagreement with how things are handled, those thoughts deserve to be heard. You've lived a full life. Your emotions aren't too much. They're real. Take Earl, 81. After losing his wife, he told his daughter how lonely the holidays felt. The house was just too quiet. Her reply, "Dad, you're being dramatic. It's not that bad." He never brought it up again. That silence, that quiet withdrawal, it's what happens when someone we love makes us feel like our pain doesn't matter. So if you're ever told you're being dramatic, ask yourself, are they trying to lighten the mood or shut me down? Because your story, your truth, and your emotions are worth listening to, and if someone refuses to hear them, that's their loss. 4. That's not how things work anymore. This one is tricky. Because yes, the world changes, technology, culture, communication, but when someone says this in a way that shuts you down, it's not about the world changing. It's about dismissing you. It says, your views are outdated. Your values don't belong. Your wisdom doesn't count. But here's what I know to be true. Respect, honesty, responsibility, resilience, those values never go out of style. Carol, 76, tried to gently offer advice to her son about parenting. Not judgment, just a quiet suggestion about patience. His reply, "Mom, that's not how things work anymore." That one line made her feel like her whole life experience had been shelved. Like she no longer had a place in the family she helped build. You don't need to be agreed with, but you deserve to be heard. So if your ideas are met with dismissal instead of dialogue, don't let it chip away at your sense of worth. Your voice matters, even if it's old-fashioned. Sometimes, that's exactly what the world needs. 5. Why are you still living there? It sounds innocent. Maybe it's said during a casual visit or over coffee, but this question, it can be laced with more than just concern. Because when your child asks, "Why are you still living there?" what they might really be saying is, "Your choice doesn't make sense to me. Let me fix it or change it." But your home? It's not just a building. It's a memory, a sanctuary, a life lived. Robert, 79, stayed in the home he shared with his late wife. His son kept pushing him to sell it, kept asking, "Why are you still there?" Eventually it became clear. The son wasn't just worried, he had plans. Here's the thing, your life is yours, and your home is part of that. You don't have to justify staying where you feel safe and happy. And if someone's concern feels more like pressure, trust that feeling. You built that life. You get to decide how it continues. So let's take a breath. We've walked through 5 phrases that may seem small, but they can carry the weight of deep disrespect. You owe me. You wouldn't survive without me. You're being dramatic. That's not how things work anymore. Why are you still living there? Each one can chip away at your peace, your independence, your voice. But here's what you must hold on to. Your wisdom still matters. Your boundaries are valid. And your life, your choices, deserve respect. Walking away from toxic words doesn't mean walking away from love. It means choosing peace, choosing strength, choosing you. If any of these phrases felt familiar, listen to that voice inside. Trust it. You're not imagining things, and you're certainly not alone. If you found value in this video, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know which phrase hit home, and what you'll do differently moving forward. Your voice matters here, always has, always will.